Okay. Just give Facebook a minute. Yeah. A couple hundred people getting ready on Instagram.
All right.
Facebook is just signing in right now.
We're giving the Facebook people time to sign in. We'll get this party started.
Any tips for anybody?
Make sure you have some water. Hopefully your shoulders are loosened up, your chest is loosened up. You can't start off with 17 push-ups on the minute. Start off with 5 or 6. Slowly work up. It's good to warm up. We're doing a few push-ups, like 5 or 6 before you get to 17. But you have plenty of time to warm up with this workout. So.
And do you want to just review for people what it means when you say on the minute?
So basically what's going to happen is, if you see here, the second hand goes around as you see. On the 12, we're going to start up here. It takes you 15 seconds to do 17 push-ups. You then will have 45 seconds to rest. And then we'll do that for an hour. So if you can knock them out fast, the best way to do is knock out fast, good, fast push-ups. The faster you can go, the more rest you'll have. Now, I'm not saying do half jacks. Try and go, down all the way up. And down is where your elbows break 90. Your chest doesn't have to touch the ground, but you want your elbows to break 90 where your elbows, your back, and your elbows are all in line together. So, wait about another 30 seconds.
We have about 1,100 people.
All right.
Joining.
All right, so the first thing we'll do is we're doing 20 sets of 17 on the minute. We have about 10 seconds and we're starting.
And then we're going to be answering questions. Just keep in mind we don't have long answers between sets. So short questions with short answers would be ideal.
All right, first set, here we go.
Any suggestions for how to prepare for the Marines? Anything quick?
Yeah, for the Marines, what you want to do is you definitely want to start running. You want to get ready for their PRT, whatever they call it, which is like a 3-mile run, max push-ups, and max, I think it's max pull-ups, and max either sit-ups or whatever. Just make sure you know what their test is and start training for their test. Be a real good runner. Start putting a pack on your back. Start getting used to putting weight on your back, 50, 60 pounds.
How many days a week do you do push-ups and pull-ups, or how many would you recommend?
Well, you want to start off kind of doing maybe a couple of days a week. I got to the point where I do them almost every day. The day off, I do push-ups and pull-ups with every single workout that I do. All my weight workouts. So if I'm with chest, I still do pull-ups with chest. Or push-ups every day, so I always incorporate weights with like calisthenics.
Is it more difficult when your hands are wide? What's the best?
Well, it just depends. I have long arms, so you can go from wide to a little bit narrow. Feel what's comfortable for you. Some people have shorter arms, so they go a little more narrow in. I have real long arms, so I find what's comfortable for me is a little bit wider than shoulder apart.
How many miles every day? How many miles each week are you running now?
Right now my miles is bumping back up again. I was about 50 miles a week for a while, doing different things. Now I'm back up to 75, 80 miles a week. You're looking at having to do about minimum 10 miles a day, and then all the way up to 25 to 30 miles in a day.
Great. David weighs 185 pounds. The question everybody wants to know.
What's my diet?
Yes.
My diet, I get it all the time. I've been working on this book for a while. I have several diets, but my biggest thing I do, you gotta understand this. For me, I am big on protein. Protein. So And it's the timing of your protein. It's the timing of your nutrition before and after you work out. It's all timing of your body. Listening to your body. Don't starve your body. A lot of us think the best way to do it is just not eat. Protein, hydration, and keeping that calorie count really tight. Know how many calories you need for the day.
David is 6'1", for those of you asking that question. The book is a work in progress, as David just mentioned, so we'll be updating people as we get closer, but there's a long tail for a book to come out. It's about an 18-month process from writing to publishing, so stay tuned.
And I have more than just one book coming out right now. So, but it's a long process.
I'm 5'10", 355 pounds. Where do I start?
You start right now with doing these daggone push-ups where you start. You start by putting that food down. You start by not giving yourself any excuse to not lose the weight. You start by being real. So a lot of us, we like this fluffy shit on social media. Everybody tells you how great they are and how good they are. I'm gonna tell you how fucked up I am. So start with how fucked up you are and fix that shit.
How long would it take someone who's not doing anything to do an Ironman? How many months of training?
From 0 to Ironman, it just depends how much do you weigh, what's your current fitness level. I know some people's nothing is a lot better than other people's fucking nothing. So I have to see exactly where your nothing's at. If your nothing is like 300 pounds to nothing, we're looking at several months. A lot of people can get off the couch and do an Ironman just because their mentality is that way. So it just depends.
A lot of questions. Do you use foam rollers when you stretch?
I use foam rollers all the time, not as much as I should, but yes, very good.
How long are you stretching for these days?
Right now I'm actually down to about 90 minutes. So about 90 to 97 minutes. I realize now I was in this big pattern of stretching out a crap ton. So now my body's getting more and more open, like sitting like this. This took me 3 years to get to the point where I can come back like this and I'm comfortable. This took me a long time, like this. I'm actually even surprised I'm sitting like this. I have a chair here for a reason. But yeah, so right now about 90 minutes.
In terms of a speaking tour, David's not currently planning a speaking tour. At present, he's just doing private engagements when he's asked to. Hopefully when the book comes out or at some point in the future, we'll be able to do things publicly. Someone's doing Leadville 100 for the first time.
Woo! Leadville!
Any one piece of advice?
Get your ass to elevation. Don't go up there 3 days before, 4 days before. You want to get up there, try and get a good 3 weeks up there. If you can't, because you work, whatever, definitely try to get pockets of opportunities where you get up there in that 10,000, 11,000, get up to some of those 14,000 footers. Start hiking up there, because what happens is on Hope's Pass will kick your ass. You'll be fine on that flat stuff. The second you get from 10,000 to 11,000, start climbing Hope's Pass. It's the climbing at elevation that's going to kick your ass if you don't live there.
In terms of if David's going to do the audio version of his book, we hope so. Be hard to think of somebody else getting that voice, but any tips for buds, people who want to be a SEAL?
Yes, start doing a crap ton of push-ups, but you know what? Swimming is important, comfortable in the water is important. One of the biggest things though, is these stress fractures, man. A lot of you young kids get off your daggone phones and daggone computers and play Xbox and all that daggone War of Valor and Operation Crap Wing or whatever the hell they call it on Xbox and shit. Get out there and start running. Get your lower body and your shins, get them tough. So start getting out there, start getting that mileage on, but don't just go from 0 to 100. Start easy, start slow, but get your shins strong because you will get washed out for having stress fractures.
For people asking if David drinks alcohol, no, he does not drink alcohol. He does not drink caffeine either. Asking about David's injuries, we could be here for an hour. Just read about David and you'll know about all of his injuries.
I've been a fasciitis I've had for like a while. done everything for it. Just keeps on, I have it. I have a lot of injuries. I've suffered a lot of injuries, but I've realized it may be the smartest thing to do. But the more you kind of fight through your injury and not say, oh, I have plantar fasciitis, let me take time off. I actually run through a lot of injuries. And what happens is, yes, it's stupid to a lot of people. Don't judge me. If you do, that's fine. But it's helped me out a lot by kind of knowing how far I can go with my injuries and going through them versus saying I'm out forever. So.
And David is not a vegan. And David does eat some carbs. Smart choices. Can you talk about what type of supplements you take, and do you take protein as a supplement?
I take protein. I take a lot of protein as a supplement, yes. Vitamin C, CoQ10. I'm big on a good multivitamin. I'm also big on fish oil. I am big on amino acids. But I also try to get all that stuff through my food. But it's hard to get the amount I need through my food for as much as I do during the day. I'm 43 years old right now. So each time I get a little older, I have to readjust the supplement profile.
Danny Mac 13, are you all natural?
I'm all natural. I guess if I'm on steroids. I love that question because half the shit I do, no one knows I'm even doing it. I'm not even competing against anybody but my daggone self on the floor or a pull-up bar, nobody in the room. Moral story is, doing steroids defeats my purpose in life. Yes, people do them for different reasons. I don't give a shit why they do them. I don't do them because I'm doing it for my mentality. I want to build my mentality, so I need to hit walls. I need to hit barriers, and from what I understand, steroids help you go further without hitting that barrier. My barrier is my mind. I don't want to help myself out by taking steroids.
A lot of people just asked about Joe Rogan's podcast. Yes, David is going on Joe Rogan in the next few weeks, so stay tuned. A lot of people asking about your sleep. How much you're sleeping, how much.
Back in the day, I was talking about it. Had a tight psoas muscle, this muscle right here, your hip flexor muscle, goes to T12. Real tight muscle my whole life. I didn't know why I couldn't sleep. That's basically why. That fight or flight muscle was locked up, so I slept about maybe, no exaggeration, maybe 3 hours, pushing it. Don't want to exaggerate or lie to anybody. Now I'm sleeping a good 6, sometimes 8, but usually 6.5 hours where I'm at right now. So.
The other podcasts David's going to be doing, he will be doing Jim Rome as well as Joe Rogan. They're the 2 upcoming podcasts. How many is Goggins going to do? Goggins is going to do 1,000 push-ups right now. And yes, he's already run this morning, of course. What's the most challenging thing you've ever done?
The most challenging thing I've ever done was I lost 106 pounds fairly fast. But my first 100-mile race, I was in powerlifter shape. I didn't run, I didn't train for it. And literally, after I called the race director up for a race, 4 days later I was running 100 miles with no training at all. And at mile 70, I was pissing on myself, shitting on myself. I was in bad shape with 30 more miles to go. So that last 2 miles of that first 100-mile race, even though it was an easy 100-mile race to run a 1-mile track, very easy. At least the terrain, hardest thing I've ever done. Not training.
I can answer the question in terms of, does David ever take a day off from everything? No, he does not. He's smart about what he does, but he will never miss a day of at least stretching, and then you have your run and your workouts. In terms of music David listens to, he doesn't listen to any music while he's working out. The only thing he ever listens to, go ahead.
But I have my favorite song.
Yes.
Round 14, Rocky 1, Going the Distance. When Apollo Creed thinks he has Rocky's ass knocked out, this song comes on in these rounds, coming up to round 14. And I use the visualization of Rocky getting off the canvas, and Apollo Creed's face looks just defeated watching Rocky get up, so going the distance.
David was in the Navy almost 17 years? 16?
Yeah, so I joined the Navy in 1999 and got out, and I retired in 2015 in November. But I did over almost 5 years in the Air Force before I went to the Navy.
What makes you laugh?
What makes me laugh? I like nasty humor. Like, you know, Kevin Hart's, old school Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, the old school guys like that.
Any TV shows?
TV shows? TV shows nowadays, man, are kind of weak, man. I'm not really big on the TV shows nowadays. So.
He did talk about his diet already if you're just joining. Talked a lot about the importance of protein. This, we'll post this back up on Facebook Live, or Facebook to stay up there. If you missed the beginning, you can always go back and look at it again. Do you believe in God? Are you religious?
Woo! Going to the religion, baby. Big time. I cuss a lot. I cuss a shit ton. And boy, am I judged. I get judged all the time. A kid that came from where I came from, as pathetic as I came up, mentally, I had to believe in something much more powerful than me. I am not the best at anything. Anything. I'm a big believer in God. I don't talk about it a lot and I cuss a lot. But life sometimes sucks. And that's the reality of it. I just keep it real.
Keith asking what's the longest David's ever run. He ran 205 miles in 39 hours. He is not vegan, and he does eat meat. For those of you asking that question.
We have 2 more sets to do within the 17 before we go to 16 for 10.
In terms of speaking events, again, unfortunately, David doesn't have anything currently scheduled that's available to the public. They're usually private events. If something does change, we'll be announcing it to everybody on social media, of course. And just so you know, you have over 1,600 people joining you right now.
1,600 people joining us. I hope to God you guys are getting hard and getting after just getting something. Hope you're not watching my dumb ass out here just performing some push-ups on a minute. So I hope we're getting a good workout in the day. That's what it's all about, getting better. Either getting better or getting worse. You're not staying the same. So hope you're getting after it.
It's a little bit more complicated, but how do you fight your mind when it wants to take you down?
My mind kicks my ass every single day. Like I said, I'm not, people put me in this category as some robot, not human. I wake up every fucking morning and battle one person, myself. That's what it's all about, man. You have to be battling something. You have to be battling something to get stronger, to get harder, to get somewhere. There's no trick around it. The trick around it is learn how to talk to yourself in those moments to find some kind of fire. Everybody's driven a certain way. Everybody's motivated a certain way. Everybody's pushed a certain way. You gotta find what the fuck makes you fucking angry. What pushes you to that point of saying, I'm done giving up.
Jim, are you kidding asking if he makes his bed? His bed is beyond perfect. He's got like hospital corners every day.
That is a true statement. I do make a nice bed. I do make a damn nice bed. Now we're doing 10 sets of 16 on the minute.
And people were just asking for an update.
Yep, so we've done 20 sets of 17. We're now doing 10 sets of 16. So here we go, starting about 25 seconds.
A lot of people just thanking you for all the inspiration.
Oh, thank you all for saying thank you. And we all have a long way to go, man. People who follow me, they ain't about having this pretty life and everything else about going through struggles. Anybody can talk about the happy times. I talk about how we can get through the hard times of life.
In terms of asking how many hours and whatnot David works out a day, in total, I don't think David goes under 5 hours each day in terms of a run, the gym, and then stretching. That's kind of the basic day. That's an average day.
Stretching being number 1 in my life right now, I'm really big on that. That's changed my whole life.
Height and weight again, 6'1", 185. Body fat?
Body fat varies. Right now, maybe 7.5%, 8 maybe.
What was the longest bike ride I ever did? Like a consecutive, the longest ride?
Bike ride I did is well over 500 miles, but I did a race called the Furnace Creek 508. I did that race. I biked 25,000 miles in, I think, 2008, right before my heart surgeries.
I know someone keeps asking first thing in the morning routine, which we'll talk about once this set's done.
The morning routine. I wake up, make my bed first thing in the morning. I drink water, I have oatmeal in the morning. Now my big thing right now is I have this self-made protein shake. I put all my stuff in it. And then I'm out the house every morning for a run. I start the day off every morning with a run, get back, right to the gym, and get those two things knocked out. My stretch is usually at nighttime, but first thing, that's kind of how it works out for me. Very routine, obviously.
Low carbs to drop weight or just exercise more?
Low carbs are huge, but you gotta watch that low carb thing because for the first few weeks, your body's starving for carbs. But low carbs for me for sure.
Favorite cheat meal?
Pizza. Favorite cheat meal, pizza for sure.
People want to know when was the last time you ate a pizza?
Shit, maybe 2 days ago?
Football, right?
Football,
Super Bowl.
man.
Super
I
Bowl.
ate that pizza for football. And a whole large pizza. But also ran a ton of miles straight that pizza though.
How did you go from, how did you go from victim to action?
From victim to action. I'm a victim every morning. So I'm not completely there, and I don't think I ever get there. Every morning I fight myself going backwards, but I know how to defeat that person. Every morning I wake up, I want to say, you know what, man? I'm good, I'm tired, I'm good. Basically, it's what your outcome of your life, what do you want your outcome of your life to look like?
Adam.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, okay.
The thing is about that last question, if you're on your deathbed and you give someone a book about your life that you had written, so let's say you died at 75. If you're writing a book for 75 years and no one saw it, you're in your deathbed, you give the book to one person that you don't even know. Is that book gonna change their fucking life for the better? If not, you gotta you gotta start changing your life now. That's what I tell myself every day. I want my life to change someone else's life.
At some point, I mean, a lot of people are asking about your stretching routine. I'm not ignoring the question. It's just that's such a long...
One day, I'm gonna do a 90-minute Facebook Live and go through my whole stretch routine so y'all can see how I do it. It'll be very boring, but I may do it.
Thank you, Dante, for answering that question. How much water do you drink each day?
Each day, I try to at least get 200 ounces. It depends on how much I run. If I run a lot, that goes up. So let's say I run for 2 hours. For me, hot or cold, I need to at least replace that with about 60 ounces of water on top of what I normally take in a day. So it goes off what I usually run, off of what I need for the day.
And just a quick thing, if IT issues, do you have ever IT band issues? And if so, any suggestion for stretching?
Yes, but the first thing is IT issues. You pull out, get the IT band from the very, very top all the way down to the knee.
These questions come in so fast. Sorry if I'm missing your questions. There's so many.
We're trying our best, people.
I'm looking at 2 different versions of them.
Got 2 phones, 2 versions.
What type of water? You don't drink a specific type of water. Any type of water.
The best daggone
Alkaline?
crap. Yeah. It's crazy. We're paying for water nowadays, but yeah, water's all jacked up. The alkaline's the best, but I try to get some filtered water in my body as much as I can.
Sorry to be repeating some of these things. He does not drink coffee, no alcohol, and he is not vegan. And in terms of the reason for this workout, there's no
the reason is accountability. Show you all, I talk a lot of shit about what I've done, so you gotta keep on living what you're talking.
Thanks, OneMac143. What was the most challenging evolution in Buds? Wait, was it Buds or Hell Week? During Hell Week, sorry.
The most challenging evolution in Hell Week had to been when I was going through on Tuesday night, You have steel piers suck. Steel piers where you're really broken down, really cold, and they just freeze your ass off. That's why I call it steel pier. Also, the elephant walks that we have. You can go high, carry boat on your head, boat on your, in your hand, and the instructor is just tearing off down the beach, and you gotta keep up with them, and you're just exhausted. It's no log PT. I'm missing 3 different things. This shit sucks. I mean, it just keeps on getting worse every day. And this is why it's great.
Thanks for joining us, Andrew from Ireland, and Will, an 11-year-old here, is trying to keep up. So, well done, Will. Why no caffeine? Everyone's now like freaking out that you don't have caffeine. Why?
You know what, man? I'm not big on stimulants. No big reason why. Caffeine's fine. People who drink alcohol is fine. I don't give a shit if you eat meat or don't eat meat. For me, I just really have been all about, I want anything to keep me up, keep me going, wake me up. I'm really big on searching my mind to do all that for me. So anything like that, I just don't go that way because I want to not get dependent on anything but my own self, my own mind.
Fastest mile time and 5K time.
Hang on one second.
Yes, Joe Rogan podcast, mid-February. Not sure when it'll be released.
Fastest marathon or fastest mile, 4:44, 4:45ish, I think, something like that. Have to go along and see. 5K?
Yes.
5K, I know it's like maybe a 17 something, I'm not for sure.
And marathon?
Marathon was a 2:45.
Have you ever run up Pikes Peak, America's mountain?
I've done Pikes Peak, but not actually in the race.
And in terms of more ultras, yes, he will be doing more ultras.
I'm getting in shape right now to hopefully get back out there and get after. It's been a long time. I did do a 41 miler not too long ago, but the 100 milers have been off my list for a while.
All right, Scott McAdams, I'm coming back to this question. David can think about, what's your why?
What's my why?
Yep.
My why is because when I was younger, I didn't have much. So my why now, my why became to become something. And my why is forever growing because I forever want to become more than what I am now. So my why is one big why. It's not like, to be a SEAL, being a SEAL is not even a fraction of my life. All things like that. So you're constantly rewriting your book to make the book better. So my why is, I started off with nothing. I want to end with a lot. My why just keeps on growing.
All right, if you can answer this one, do you believe in talent?
Yes, I believe in talent. I don't have any. So I believe also that you don't need talent. I work with several athletes at the top level, and I see what kills the top athletes at the top level is they have so much talent that they didn't have to work too hard. And the talent got them through. People who don't have a lot of talent, but they have this, they fight through all adversity because they've always had adversity. So talent is great, and I believe in talent. But if you have talent with no mindset, hard work will always trump the talent with no mindset.
In terms of the book, again, work in progress. David's working on it. The timeline of when it will be announced, or when it's being published, we'll announce on social media as soon as we have it. It's a long process to go from writing a book to publishing a book. It's like an 18-month process, but he's working on several things. So more to come on that.
All right, we just done this at 16. Now moving on to 20 sets of 17 again. Merry Christmas. Here we go. 30 minutes down, 30 minutes to go.
Cold runs, hot runs?
Cold runs?
Do you like cold runs or runs in the heat?
Cold runs and hot runs, they both suck the exact same. I like runs that are like 60 degrees, but cold runs and hot runs, I get them both in, but they both suck the same. Miserable.
Here's one. Body weight or heavy weight?
Body weight or heavy weight?
For working out.
Body weight for sure.
Thanks for everybody being so excited about the book. terms of Goggins apparel, clothing lines, sporting clothes, etc., yes, at some point we're just trying to stay focused on what's ahead of us right now and working on the book and in time. How many straight push-ups could you do continuously without stopping?
I once did 157 in 3 minutes. So do the math on that. So you learn to do them real fast. So I don't know how many I can do without stopping. I've never just gone and did without stopping before. So
I'm going to leave this question for when you are done, is who motivates you, who inspires you?
Great question.
Yep.
Have an answer in about 10 seconds. All right. Take this the right way, people. I'm not cocky at all. Please understand, very humble. Who motivates me is me. Be your own hero. Look up to yourself. Also hold yourself accountable. If you looked up to, let's say, Tiger Woods or someone like that, people let you down. We're all human beings. No one's perfect. I am definitely not shit. I'm not perfect at all. Don't let you look up to me. Maybe get advice from me. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from my. That's why I talk about be your own hero. Look up to yourself. Push yourself. Drive yourself. Because you can't be Lance Armstrong. You can't be, you don't want to be like him. You can't be Michael Jordan. Be who you are. Be the best you are. Be your own hero. Period. Look up to yourself.
Oh, I'm trying to get these questions. Sorry. Cold showers. Do you do them?
I don't do cold showers. Why? Because I already know I can suck it up. Once you know you can do some things, cold showers, I know people do them all the time, man. Whatever. I don't do showers.
In terms of David being on Taco's podcast, the way podcasts work, you know, if you're invited, and it works with your schedule, you go on. So, I'm sure if we're invited, we'll try to make it work. I
don't ask to go to anybody's podcast. I don't care. If you ask me to go to your podcast, if I'm free, I'll do it, but I don't ask anybody to be on their podcast. I don't ask anybody shit. So that's just how it goes for me.
Can you become a Navy SEAL if you've had a past ACL injury?
Hang on a second. So I believe you can. If the ACL is all healed up and you're checked off from the doctor, I believe you can, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a recruiter.
Yes, David wears a Garmin watch when he's running.
But I'm looking at getting a different watch though.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the Garmin's shut off. I know there's better watches out there, but I'll see.
All right, most motivational quote. I know what it is.
Well, I have several of them. When I was 287 pounds, this commanding officer during Navy SEAL graduation spoke in front of the graduation class. I was 27 fat as shit. And what I heard him say was, we live in a society where mediocrity is often rewarded. The guys that were graduating, the 18 men up here detest mediocrity. So I don't know if it's my favorite quote, but it definitely made me think about how below mediocre I was. So I have several of them that I've heard that are pretty amazing, but what's funny about quotes to me is I don't take a lot. I believe in whoever said the quote. I get the power from the quote. A lot of people have very powerful quotes, but are you living what the fuck you're saying? A lot of people say powerful things, but I nuke it when people say it. I look and say, great quote, but are you really living the way you're quoting right now? Or are you just quoting something that sounds great and inspirational? Are you living that way? So more than the quote, it's the person behind the quote.
Yes, Lisa, there are more ultramarathons in the future. Yes, he was in the Air Force first and then joined the Navy. And also went through Army Ranger School. Could you go through SEAL training again
yes.
now?
I go through SEAL training, fucking tell people, right now, I talk about it every day. I would love to go back through Hell Week again. Why? It's a place where you see the best of the best crumble. So yes, to answer that question, that's the one thing, but what gets me happy? The idea of that. That is, I went through 3 of them, I was in 3 of them, graduated 2 of them, That's the one place in life, Navy SEAL Hell Week, where you see the worst of the best men come out. It's just amazing seeing guys who are huge, amazing men crumble under the fact that it sucks.
All right, so what book are you reading right now?
I'm not reading any book right now. I sampled out this book on smoke jumping. There's a book out there on smoke jumping. Very cool job. I'm actually training right now to get into it at 43 years old. So one of my goals right now is to get healthy enough to where I can apply to be a smoke jumper. So cool job, hardcore men out there doing a hardcore job. Very underappreciated.
No, David's not vegetarian or vegan. He went through Army Ranger School. He was actually enlisted honor man in his class, but he did it while he was a Navy SEAL. Can you compare Ranger School to being a Navy SEAL versus Navy SEAL?
There's a lot about Ranger School that sucks more than SEAL training. The biggest thing for me that sucked was I was already a SEAL. So the reason I went to Ranger School, I actually volunteered to go to Ranger School because you start getting complacent. And being a SEAL, you already have this attitude of being the best. Going to Ranger School, it totally takes you from being Navy SEAL David Goggins to being a piece of shit, nobody David Goggins. So it's a lot harder than what it is when you've already reached a certain level and you drop back down to a level. Getting through that school is tough, but they starve the shit out of you and they really force you to be a leader under very adverse conditions.
All right, when David's done, he's going to answer the question about what has he accomplished, intellectually, or how does he challenge himself intellectually. I'm sure he'll love that question to answer.
All right, intellectually. So basically, I'm really big on that. I wasn't real smart growing up, and I take the ASVAB test several times. Humbled me a lot to see how non-educated I was. I'm actually in college courses right now. I've taken several, I have 130 credits in college courses right now. So I'm constantly revamping my medical education, all the way up to, fire science stuff. I'm just constantly trying to educate myself. I got to be taking a class last week about different heart rhythms and stuff like that in the body and reading ECGs and whatnot. So I'm constantly trying to get educated on stuff.
How many sets are we at right now?
We have done 40 sets. 40 sets. This is 10 sets at 20, or my fault, 10 sets at 17, our second go. So we did 20 sets at 17, 10 sets at 16. We've done 10 sets at 17 now. So 10 more sets at 17, and then 10 more at 16, and we'll be done.
What do you do in your spare time? How do you have fun?
I have fun. I'm doing it right now. This is a blast. This is a fucking blast right now, man. This is a great time. Honestly, I'm a big sports fanatic. I love sports. I love watching great basketball, football players. I get really into watching people do their best at different sports.
Oh, we've got Joe Burns.
Joe Burns!
No, are you doing Badwater? Joe Burns. My dad, Joe Burns, is wondering. Joe Burns.
Joe Burns! So, the story about Joe Burns, people, is we'll see about Badwater. I've actually just reached out. So, Joe Burns is one of the hardest Navy SEALs to live. Very honored you're on here right now. In my second Hell Week, so Joe Burns me through all 3 of my Hell Weeks. Joe Burns, Wednesday night of my second Hell Week, broken kneecap, just get a shot in my kneecap. I come out, all the boat crews are past the water. Joe Burns, loving me so much, being the hard man he is, throws me in the ocean about 11 o'clock at night by myself with 6 to 8 foot swells, cold water, and say, go out there and get your boat crew. It's an honor to have your ass beat like that. And you have no idea how you're not supposed to do that, but Joe Burns had faith in me. So Joe Burns, thanks for coming on, man.
Quentin Rush, thanks for asking the question, clarifying what a smoke jumper does. I'm giving you a breather here. I'm trying to...
Come on, man. Get him knocked out. I ain't scared of you people, man.
Best way to build mental toughness.
Best way to build mental toughness is to do things that you don't want to fucking do. Right now, if you think I want to do 1,000 push-ups and talk at the same time, being exhausted, I don't. But each time we push ourselves a little bit further, we're taking off that governor in our mind. We have a governor that's in the car. The car can go 130. The governor stops at 91. That governor's the same shit you have in your brain. The only way you can take it off is to constantly do these things that make you feel uncomfortable. Do things that suck.
David has plenty of serious injuries, has had plenty of serious injuries, so it's an endless list. We'd be here for the rest of the time talking about injuries and health issues. So, a lot of people asking if, would you ever run for office?
I've actually talked about it a few times, running for office. I believe we need to change this world in a better way, in a real honest way. I don't care about Trump, I don't care about Hillary, I don't care. I'm not one of these guys that judge people. I just think that we need to be honest with ourselves and not be pulling directions. So yeah, I've thought about it, but it'll be a long time from now. A lot more learning to do about the, about the world we live in today.
Probably 50 questions on Barkley Marathon.
Barkley, I actually signed up for Barkley this year, but my schedule has made it so I can't do it. So I was in it. Hopefully next year I do Barkley.
A lot of people would vote for you.
Only thing bad about me running for office, I gotta stop cussing. So we'll see how that works out.
Best leadership qualities.
Best leadership quality. This is what got me in trouble in the military. I talk about it a lot in my book, as I'm writing right now. You have to be a hard motherfucker. You have to live the way you act. You have to be the leader. You have to lead by example. You have to be so uncomfortable. Being a leader is the loneliest place in the world. And whenever I didn't see good leaders, I oftentimes wasn't the best leader myself because I saw weakness in them, and I also didn't do the right thing myself. It's tough.
Goggins 2020. Hilarious. What was your highest rank in the military?
I was a chief. I was a chief in the military. So
a couple people asking about getting in touch with us for speaking engagements. You can feel free to email at info@davidgoggins.com.
And one thing I want to say, I'm sorry that I don't get to I read every single comment. I read every single daggone email. You guys have no idea. This is me. I don't have a company behind me. I don't believe in having people do my work for me. I try to give back as much as I can. Like right now, I'm doing an hour of this. I can't get to all the comments. At first, I had like 10,000 followers. It was easier. Now I have a few more followers than 10,000. But I read every single comment. I appreciate every single comment and every single email. So thank you all for that.
You want to comment on running shoes?
Running shoes. I hate this. I hate fucking talking about running shoes because I get so much credit to fucking Brooks. Fucking hate Brooks. Hate him. Hate him. Hate him. Hate him. Hate him. Hate him. Worst fucking customer service on the planet fucking earth, but guess what I gotta say about him? Best fucking shoe. Best shoe. Best shoe is Brooks. I've called him up so many times, and they're so damn rude to me every time. But I will tell you this. I gotta give credit where credit's due. Brooks Glycerin is a great shoe. It's changed a little bit. The older shoe was better than the newer shoe, but great shoe, especially for long, hardcore mileage.
Do you plan on talking about any of your missions, your Navy SEAL missions in your book?
No, my military life is boring at best. I'm not a Chris Kyle. I went to Hollywood with Chris Kyle, amazing guy. I'm not a Marcus Luttrell. I'm not one of these guys who got the great missions. I was on them, but I didn't get great missions. But even if I had them, my book is it's about the human being. About the human being overcoming himself. That's the moral of my book. It's not a Navy SEAL. Yeah, it talks about my journey through Hell Weeks, which is pretty interesting how I went through 3 of them and all these different things, but the crux of it all is real life principles that you can apply to your life now to become better. Not many people can understand the Navy SEAL stuff.
Will you ever do Ultraman again?
I don't think I ever do Ultraman again. I did Ultraman on a rented bike. I didn't even own a bike. Actually, the bike that I borrowed was a guy named JT. He actually died in a helicopter crash in Navy SEAL. It was exciting at the time because I'd never done an Ironman. And so I did the Ultraman, being like a 6.2 mile swim, 261 mile bike ride or something like that, and a 2.4 mile run. I got second place in that. But I just, once I did it, I'm not a big triathlon guy.
All right, we're going to come back to the question of what advice would you give yourself at 25 years old?
Okay, the advice that I give myself at 25 years old is, I wish I knew to not listen to idiots. I once thought I lied a lot about who I was. I tried to impress people. I was insecure. All kind of shit. I was a pathetic person. I don't mind telling you that because why? A lot of us have fucking issues. So I judged myself trying to impress other people a lot. And I realized how fucked up they are too. Everybody's fucked up in this world. All of us are floating around fucked up trying to get better. So what all this Instagram and Facebook shit is we get on here and we talk about how great we are. Very few people talk about how fucked up life can be and how hard it is. So the advice I give myself is stop listening to people and stop trying to judge yourself against people and try to find out the best you can. I actually took that advice and this is what you get here. So, all right, we are now moving to 10 sets of 16 and we're fucking done with this workout.
They still have 1,600 people.
1,600 people surviving. Loving it, man. Hardcore, man.
All right, are you putting your shirt on? Oh, okay, I was going to say, people are asking about your tattoo.
My tattoo.
And the meaning behind it. Here, I'm going to come close. The top one's the writing.
Okay, the writing, hopefully, the top one says show no weakness. Hopefully. I don't know what the fuck the top one says. Hopefully it probably says eat some shit or something. The bottom one is a hatchet. Warrior axe stands for the warrior. So I'll tell you about show no weakness pretty soon. Alright. Show no weakness is don't dig too deep into it. It's just about showing strength through adversity. And sometimes body position is everything. Let's say you just failed something in life. Once you fail something, your head goes down, your shoulders roll forward, you just kind of slump life. Just the simple fact of you pulling your fucking head up, rolling your shoulders back, just that alone, even after you fail, having that body position tells your mind, we're still fighting. We're still engaged in this war. We're still trying to overcome something. Second the head goes down, you show weakness. Your mind sees weakness. Your body feels weakness. You quit. It's about body position. So showing weakness is stand tall, man. Stand tall. Be proud, even through failure.
When was the last time you got sick?
I got real sick about 2 weeks ago. Crazy thing, had food poisoning, they say. So I was sick for about a day. And then, I was still sick after that, but it's time to get over it and time to get back after it again. So I was sick a couple weeks ago.
Thank you to people saying thank you to me. I appreciate it.
Oh, this is Jennifer. So who are you talking to right now? It's
Well,
a lovely Jennifer Kish.
A lot of questions on
Jennifer
that.
Kish is the mystery lady behind all this crap, and soon you'll see the beautiful Jennifer Kish.
All right, we're going to ask barefoot running. Have you ever considered? What are your thoughts on it?
So, it's pretty good if you do it for a mile or so. Try and do it on grass. A lot of folks like doing it on concrete, so how hard they are. Think about this. We're not Africans. Not all of us, I'm telling you right now, we've been wearing shoes for our whole lives. Most of us here in the United States. Barefoot running is amazing if your body was born that way. Slowly start to run. Like after you do an 8-mile run, 6-mile run, 7-mile run, take your shoes off, run on some grass on the football field for a mile. Very good. But I don't believe in people who go out there and run these long distance races barefoot or almost Vibram shoes, whatever they call them.
Congrats to everybody who's still telling me you're still going. That's awesome. Wait, why is this saying I only have a minute and 47 seconds remaining? Does anybody know that's watching this? Is there a limit to how long you can go live on Instagram? It's telling me I have a minute 37 left. If so, if that stops, we'll pick back up.
So this may cut off.
If it does, I'll come back. Facebook's going to continue.
If Instagram shuts off, stay tuned, Instagram. We're coming back. We'll start it back up again and get it going because we're only down to, we can't shut the shit off now. We're down to 6 sets. So you guys have gone 54 minutes, man. I mean,
Instagram's going to kill me.
Instagram was pissed off when I said, hey, I'm here 54 minutes of this dumbass. Listen to him ramble.
Shoot.
We'll pick it up in a minute. So in that minute when it cuts off, we'll pick it up.
Are you tired at all right now? People want to know.
I'm not tired at all. At least if I was, you wouldn't know it.
Remember the show No Weakness?
5 more sets left. Hopefully Instagram stays on with us. If not, you have 40 seconds left if it cuts off before we get going. I'll give you guys time hacks.
All right, I don't think we answered the question. What do you do first thing in the morning?
Yeah, I did answer. Quickly in the morning, wake up, make the bed. I take my protein shake, and I do my run first thing in the morning before I even think about anything else.
All right, again, people on Instagram, I'm going to be logging out. It looks like it's going to kick me off in 9 seconds.
All right,
but keep going.
10 seconds right now before your next step. We'll get back on Instagram, so stay tuned.
You're still on Facebook, but let me try.
Sorry, guys. Facebook, we're still on with you guys. Instagram looks like they're not coming back on. I know they are shitty.
Ooh.
You get it?
Yep, back on.
Well, hey, you guys caught us just in time. We have 10 seconds left. You guys didn't miss a thing on Instagram if you're there. We're back on right now.
Goggins outlasted Instagram. Yes, we did. Your recommendation for how many grams of protein each day?
Well, it just makes me want to lose weight, gain weight, all that stuff, but for me, I'm a big guy. 1 gram of protein for a body weight, so 185 grams for me. And really watching, making sure I'm getting good fats in my body. And watch the carbohydrates if you want to stay as lean as possible. Really be careful with the carbohydrate load as far as like, if you run a lot, it's all a simple science, but the protein for me is the biggest one. And the timing of your protein.
A lot of people want to know what your opinion on smoking weed is.
Smoking weed, stay tuned. 2 more sets, people. Good work. Smoking weed. Once again, man, I used to judge people a lot because I was insecure. I don't give a shit. Smoke weed, whatever, but some people really need it. I think it has helped a lot of people with different issues. Do I do it? No. But once again, man, I don't care what you do, man. You gotta do what you do. So if you gotta smoke it, smoke it.
What's your favorite protein or most consumed protein?
That varies. I'm a big whey protein guy, but the different kinds of forms of protein has varied a lot.
And you get a lot in your chicken.
Yeah, I eat a lot of chicken breast. All right, 1 more set.
Wow.
1 more set. We have 1,000 push-ups knocked out. Good work, people. Those who stayed, I appreciate it.
Got almost 1,700 people.
Well, I'll stay about 5 minutes after this last set. Answer a few more questions. I'm sure Jennifer's over it right now.
No. What time do you go to bed and wake up, generally? Obviously, it changes, but...
Probably around 10, 10:30, sometimes 11, up by 6, 6:30, just depending on what's going on in my life. So that's typically it, but a lot of times I'm not falling asleep. Once I go to bed, I'm kind of rolling around, thoughts are all everywhere. Last set. All right. Woo!
All right. All right, I'm going to give you 1 second. David does not currently have a supplement line. Maybe someday in the future, but right now.
I plan on getting one in the future. Maybe 5 years from now, but I know it works, so.
Will you be sore in the morning?
No, I won't be.
All right, a lot of people have been asking about meditation.
I'm really big. I don't do the typical what people think meditation is. So during my stretch out every day, I just try to get my own thoughts, try to calm myself down. I was a real ramped up person. I'm always amped up. That's who I am. I'm a passionate person. But I really try just to calm my mind down, try to get it in a peaceful mindset, so I can get ready for sleep. So yeah, I'm not big on meditation that way, but I do meditate in my own personal way.
Getting a lot of repeat questions. So for people that joined late, my suggestion is to go back and listen. We are going to post these on Facebook and share it on Instagram for the next 24 hours. So if you missed some of it, you know, you can go back and see the answers to a lot of these questions. There's a ton of people saying thank you for the inspiration.
Thank you all for joining me, man. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. I know watching. Hopefully you all joined me. Hopefully you all got a few hundred push-ups, 1,000 push-ups in today. That's great.
You up for answering a few more? Or?
Answer a few more.
CrossFit?
CrossFit's good for a lot of people. I'm not a CrossFit person. It wouldn't be good for what I do. I don't want to have the CrossFit type of body. CrossFit's great for a lot of people. I'm big on long muscle endurance. Like I rather do 1,000, 2,000 push-ups if like I didn't do anything than the other kind of stuff. I rather run 100 miles and feel. I'm about long muscle, long energy, long endurance.
How do you quiet your mind during fearful times?
Well, during fearful times, it's kind of hard to quiet your mind, but fearful times for me are like, let's say you're jumping out of an airplane, you know, whatever makes you scared. It's just about putting your procedures and everything in order. It's about knowing what you're capable of doing and not allowing your mind to get too far ahead of you. Because in that process, you know, your mind gets way ahead of you when you're scared. You gotta draw it and think very systematically and try to compartmentalize what's going on in that fear factor so that you don't let all this fear overwhelm you and you can't react at all.
Or have shoulder injuries from push-ups?
You know what, knock on wood, I've never had any shoulder injuries whatsoever. None.
Biggest fears?
Oh man, we'd be here all day, man. I'm scared of everything. I don't want to, like I said, I'm not a tough guy. That's the beauty of it all, man. Like, the reason why I'm on social media is because I know what a weak, pathetic, insecure, not very smart kid who lied to get friends and this and that can do with the right mindset. That's the big reason. Once I got to where I'm at today, and I realized, I look back at my life and see where I came from, I realized, shit, anybody can do this shit. That's why I hate when people put a title on me. People put a title on me to make themselves feel better. Like, oh, Goggins is a machine. Goggins is this. Goggins ain't shit. Period. I was below average human being that made something of myself. So don't put a title on anybody. Find a way to make it work, because trust me, you can. But it takes a lot of fucking hard work and deliberate practice.
Favorite music?
Favorite music, I don't listen to a lot of music, period. Surprisingly, I like a little Frank Sinatra every now and then, my way. Like I said, the Rocky song. I listen to a lot of old school rap. This new school shit I'm not into. I got a little Sting in my mix. Sting fan. Dave Matthews is in there a little bit. So old school rap, Dave Matthews. It varies. I don't listen to country though.
Pearl Jam.
I got a little Pearl Jam in there. So I was a 36th African American Navy SEAL in 70 years. So I got a little various of everything. Well, everything's in there.
Everyone's asking, how do I keep up with you? And do I work out?
Well, when we first got together, the girl had an issue. She didn't keep up real well. So that's another funny thing. It's funny how people can slowly think that they've reached where they can reach. I've seen Jennifer go from, like for instance, her fastest marathon was a 3:36.
Yep.
And you PR'd doing what?
3:23.
3:23. So she took out 13 minutes of her time, and that was just by simply training her mind differently than how she trains now. So she seems a lot better. So she keeps up. She did it 400 push-ups a day. She's now learning how to do pull-ups. So she's reinventing the wheel for old Jennifer Kish.
All right. Everyone wants to know, are you going to be doing anything like this again?
Yes, I hope to do something like this once a month. I do a lot of the push-ups because while I can talk to you and engage, we may do a sit-up routine or a flutter kick routine. The pull-ups are kind of hard because why not everybody has a pull-up bar. So I try to do things to incorporate so then you all can join me. And push-ups are fucking really good to do. So yeah, I'll do it again.
Okay.
All right, hey everybody, thanks a lot for joining me. Hope y'all got something out of it. Once again, thank you for all the great posts you guys send me, or all the great messages, emails. Right? You don't get anything?
No, emails are the big ones.
Hey,
it's hard to.
I got a lot of freaking emails, and hey, I type like this. So thank you all once again. Stay hard, stay after it. Merry Christmas.